Did you watch those girls frontline videos that I put out?
Oh yeah, I've seen the one with the summer skin, I think.
This game is amazing. Hell, you could even do this. You could even do this. I can't believe this game. Oh, what happened? Oh God. Oh, she's waking up. She's waking up.
And I was making sure that my parents went home.
Yeah, that game just... Other games force you to pay for backgrounds. That game just lets you put a chick on her bed and just go into her armpits, into her feet, into her face, and just take a picture and make that your background. It's like the most deranged shit. And like, even with Nikke, like, Nikke's got some pretty, like... It's not as lewd as Brown does too, but even Nikke lets you... Even if you don't usually play as the character, if you max the character's potential out, if you get like all their copies, then you get to see their ultimate as your background screen. So
okay. I didn't know that.
So like for D Killer Wife, like whenever you use her ultimate, it plays a scene of her like bringing her axe down because she has like a hatchet. She like brings her hatchet down and then her giant tits bobble. So you could just make that your wallpaper. So every time you go back to the lobby, her tits bobble in front of your face.
Hold on, let me just research this for research purpose.
I'm telling you, Nikke is it's a hell of a drug.
I've played the game a bit, but like the thing is, with these games with no stamina, you have to play them like extensively, and I didn't have that much time at the time.
They even did an ASMR video of her too.
What?
They're doing ASMRs of their characters, and I thought they were gonna lock them behind like the $60 gacha skins, but they just give them away for free.
Okay, I mean, why not? And you can have this as a background? That's cool.
Yeah, if you get 4 copies of her, you have to pull for her, and then you have to get 3 more copies, and then you unlock that burst animation as your wallpaper.
Okay.
And it works like that for all the characters.
Yeah, and on top of that, getting 4 copies in Nikke is like, it's pretty easy, right?
I mean, it's not easy, it's more annoying. I mean, like, the longer you play, eventually you will get the copies.
Get copies of all the characters.
The problem is that the progression of the game is locked behind getting other copies. So you'll max your characters out at level 160, but the game keeps going and keeps getting harder and harder after 160. So you basically have to keep pulling to get copies, so that you have to get 5 characters with 4 copies. And then that allows you to start leveling up the rest of your characters past 160. So if you get really unlucky, you'll get copies for every other character except for those 5 specific characters. So it could take you a week of getting lucky. It could take you a month, 5 months, a year. Some people have just quit the game because they're like, I can't level up anymore because I can't pull the characters that I need. But it has a wish list system where if you wish list the characters that you want, you have a way higher chance of getting them by pulling them.
Yeah, this is recent too, right?
Yeah.
Because when I was first playing the game, it wasn't there, I think.
Yeah, and they've even made it better because the pilgrims, like the really rare characters, you can now put them in your wish list too.
Oh yeah, you couldn't at the beginning, that's true.
So it's like, Nikke is one of those games where like if you criticize the game, it will change. Not a whole lot of games are doing that nowadays.
I'm still thinking about HSR.
Hoyo as a whole, I mean, they've essentially given up on 2 of their games now, and they're just basically just ZZZ is next, and I have
they're focusing on ZZZ, yeah.
I have a weird take where like, yeah, sure, I love the hentai. I'm a man of culture. I like ZZZ's art. I like the animations. But I want them to ruin ZZZ. I cannot wait to drop ZZZ because I thought that I would hate instance-based gacha games and that open world games were the way to go, but I found myself not really caring about Wuthering Waves, and like I want to pull Zani, but I don't have the urge to actually play the game. And I'm not saying it's a bad game, I'm just saying I don't have an urge to play it. So, but I also have ZZZ. Like, I don't really care about the 2 new characters that are coming out, and I don't really care about any other character except for Zani. And if the characters are the only things that are good about the game, then you might as well just jerk off to them on Rule 34 and just call it a day.
Yeah, which I'm definitely not doing. But I mean, it also probably has to do with the fact that, well, you can play literally every gacha game on the market. You have to like make a choice because, well, we have, only that much free time on the hands.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like I want to go back and play all the games. I'm trying to play through all the No More Heroes games because I never finished 2, and I think 3 looks like complete fucking ass. Like I feel like they butchered the game's art style, and I have a feeling that the game itself is not going to be good, but it was on sale for like $10, so I want to go back and I mean, at least give it a try. And there's so many games. Like I want to go back and play Condemned: Criminal Origins.
What's this game about?
It was a horror game that you play as a FBI agent who gets framed for a murder of 2 officers, and there's a weird phenomenon where violent crime is spiking to a point where people can't even like exist in the city anymore. Your character starts hallucinating, and like he can see into the future, or he can see.
Wait, so it's like New York Simulator.
Yeah, or Chicago Simulator. And and there's like as the game goes further and further, it's like you learn more shit about it. But it was revolutionary at the time because it was a first-person horror game with combat, but the combat was melee. So you actually had to block attacks and time your attacks to defeat your enemies in melee, and you could find weapons, but they only had like 3 or 4 bullets in them at a time. And it was made by the company that made the Fear games, First Encounter, Assault Recon, which was another series that I wanted to play through. But that's what I'm talking about. Like there's so many good games that came out 20 years ago. It's like, forget about playing the games that are coming out now. Like there's shit that people have never even seen. I glaze Killer 7, and I don't feel like enough people don't even know what Killer 7 is.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this is.
Most people won't even like it though, that's the thing, but you should at least know your history.
No, I'm not even gonna say I've seen videos of this. No, I've never seen this.
It's a very weird mix of like a rail shooter mixed with a first-person shooter mixed with a third-person puzzle solving game. And just to explain to you like how weird it is, you don't move with the left analog stick. You hold down A and your character will move forward or backwards. Okay. You can only move forwards or backwards, but you'll come to intersections where you can go left or right, and the enemies are invisible, so the only way that you can see them is if you scan with like I think it was the left trigger, and then you can shoot them like the regenerators in Resident Evil 4. You can shoot their like weak point, and then they'll explode into blood, and then you collect their blood, and then you take it back to a TV, and then you put the blood in the TV, and then you can upgrade your character's abilities.
Okay.
And
so the blood is basically the money or something.
Yeah, and there's a luchador character that has dual handheld grenade launchers. There's a jacked albino shirtless man who throws knives and can go invisible. There's a chick that can slit her wrists and drench a wall with her blood to find an invisible wall. And Dan Smith, all his special ability is that he is a badass. It's really basically the only thing about him, and he can shoot a really powerful revolver.
I like the art direction of this game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, No More Heroes. So Suda51 is the director that made No More Heroes 1 and 2, 3, and Travis Strikes Again. He made Lollipop Chainsaw, a game called Shadows of the Damned, and Killer 7. And Killer is Dead, and a game called Flower, Sun, and Rain, and Silver Case 1 and 2. But most of it,
that I only know Lollipop Chainsaw, mostly because, well, I'm not gonna finish the sentence.
Because you were on Tumblr back in the days when it was cool, and you could actually find source filmmaker porn on it.
That might be it.